stitches, punched by his own man.
I see the blood on the towel, no doubt about it, that Domenico has. And now something's going on over there with some fans. Security police pushing him back. It's a fan over there in a red jersey. That is not a Portland player pushed away. We got to see how this started. Let's get back and see how it started.
All right, here we go right now. We're back on the court live again as things are still breaking out here, and they're trying to get order restored on the court. I hate to see this type of thing happen, and the fans have just got to stay in the stands where they belong. There's no business going out in the court. It's bad enough trying to control things. Trying to control things with the players, let alone having the fans out there.
Here comes Dougie Collins.
Doctor's doing the smartest thing. He's doing the smartest thing of anybody, Brett. He's sitting down and getting out of the way and resting. Shows you how cool he can be under pressure.
Gene Shue out, telling Mix to come back.
Dawkins has been thrown out of the game, Brent.
Now let's go back and take a look. Here's a replay.
Here we go. We're coming down on the play right now. Now watch Dawkins and Gross right here. Comes, he kind of muscles him out. The shot's going to go up right now by Gilliam. They're going for the rebound. Dawkins up for it. Gross goes for it. They get the ball. He comes right now, and he's fighting for the ball, trying to take it away. Flips Gross to the floor. It was nothing intentional, just good hustle on Dawkins' part. Now let's watch what happens if we can run it forward.
We will see it. We are going to see it, but we want to make sure that order is restored here in the Spectrum. And then we'll go back. Joe Gashue talking to Gene Shue. As Rick Barry told you, Dawkins is out. There's still a problem at the Portland bench.
All right, we'll run it through right now. Here we go with the play. We'll see Dawkins throw Gross down on the floor. People will step in to try and get in their way. They're a little upset. Now watch Dawkins. Now watch what Dawkins does. Somebody blocks the screen. Here he comes, right there. He throws the punch, and you saw Collins fall out of your picture. Darryl Dawkins losing his composure out there and hurting his own man as he squares off with Maurice Lucas. And boy, it's tough to try and get in their way. But fortunately, the players are wise enough to prevail and grab the men and separate them.
Good day. Welcome to another episode of Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I am Sean Farrell. God is great. All the time. All the time, God is great. And let's not waste no more time. Let's get right into it. Okay? So, well, actually, before we get right into it, I made it back in from Nashville yesterday afternoon. So I didn't do too much work while I was in that Nashville. Sometimes it's kind of good to get it away. I do enjoy grinding, making videos. I do enjoy that. But it's also good when you can, leave that alone for a few days. I didn't leave it alone completely. Okay. But no. I just primarily worked on one topic, okay, and worked on one topic, worked on that one topic, bring all one video, and then that was it. So I'm back, and with that being said, now let's get into it. So the 1977 NBA Finals, okay, so Game 1, I thought, set the tone for the series, okay? Because Game 1 started, opening tip, which went to the 76ers, and Julius Erving immediately got the tip and dunked it, okay? So that set the tone for Game 1, which the 76ers won, okay? And the Blazers were pretty much getting blown out in Game 2 as well, okay? Dr. J was flying, doing his usual thing. George McGinnis was hitting. World Be Free was hitting. Chocolate Thunder. Darryl Dawkins was doing his thing. You had Doug Collins, too. I think that was the first year of Caldwell Jones with the 76ers. Yeah, so Caldwell Jones was a starting center. Okay. Nonetheless, Mike Dunleavy, he was a rookie on that team. Yeah. Mike Dunleavy was a rookie on that 77 squad. But nonetheless, so it's game 2. The Trailblazers, well, the 76ers are leading 96-76, okay? So the Sixers are leading by 20 with 4:52 left in the fourth quarter. And so the Sixers are on the fast break. They take a shot. They don't convert. Daryl Dawkins and Bobby Gross get hit entangled. Daryl Dawkins throws Gross to the floor, and fight breaks out, okay? And Dawkins was 6'11", 251, okay? Going up against the obviously smaller Bobby Gross. So after they went down and got back up, Gross pointed a few fingers. Dawkins threw a haymaker at Gross. When Dawkins threw the punch, his punch caught Doug Collins in the eye area right here. His punch caught Doug Collins in the eye area, okay? And Doug Collins needed 4 stitches over his right eye. So that's what they call like collateral damage. Doug Collins caught collateral damage as a result of Dawkins' punch, okay? 4 stitches. Nonetheless, after Dawkins hit Bobby Gross, he ran back towards half court. That's when Maurice Lucas came up behind and decked him. And all of a sudden, Maurice Lucas was ready to throw down. And if you watch the footage, Brent Musburger, several years later, recalled that fight. Brent Musburger said Maurice Lucas stood up to Daryl Dawkins, and Daryl Dawkins wanted no part of Maurice Lucas. That was Brent Musburger's take on that. Okay. He caught a lot of NBA games in his in those days. Brent Musburger did. So it was Brent Musburger and Rick Barry on the call of the 77 NBA Finals. But Lucas hit the Hawkins. Daryl obviously wasn't looking when Maurice Lucas hit Daryl Dawkins. And so the fight broke out. Players got involved. Dr. J was involved. Dr. J got involved a little bit. Then fans actually came onto the court. Lucas and Dawkins were each hectic. And the fight produced no score, no outcome on the score of the game. 76ers still won 107-89. But Daryl Dawkins was pretty pissed at his 76er teammates that they would allow Maurice Lucas to come up and deck Daryl Dawkins behind the head. Okay, so Daryl Dawkins was very upset about that, okay? And so he was upset at his teammates specifically. He was quoted as saying, "I'm mad at my teammates. They let another player sneak up behind my back and hit me." Okay. But I think there was a little bit of chaos developing, okay? And when there was chaos developing, there's just so many things going on at the time when chaos is happening. But it was thought that there was frustration, not just on Daryl Dawkins' part, but on the 76ers team as a whole, because the Portland Trailblazers supposedly were playing dirty. Were playing dirty basketball at the start of the second half, hoping to spark something. Okay. So the Blazers played dirty in the second half, supposedly played dirty. And that's when I guess frustration of the Hawkins took over. The Blazers were playing dirty, trying to provoke a reaction and force a momentum shift in their favor. Okay, so I would say while the dirty play and the brawl didn't have a momentum shift in that game, but in the larger realm of things, that fight shifted the momentum of the series when the series went back to Portland. Okay, because the 76ers were blown out twice. One of those blowouts was a 130-98 ass kicking by the Trailblazers. Yeah. So it wasn't a game momentum shifter, but it was a series momentum shifter. Okay. Let's see. I mentioned Dawkins was upset, thrown out. Daryl Dawkins actually kicked the bathroom stall off of the moorings in the locker room. And by the time the game had ended, Daryl Dawkins had already left the building. So Daryl Dawkins was pissed. And Doug Collins recalls Dawkins was mad. He said players on the Sixers were complaining about playing time or whatnot. They want to get shots or whatnot. And so, despite the fact that the 76ers were up 2-0, there was a sort of a volatile 76ers locker room. Okay. And I just talked about how the other day how the Ricky Pierce, Gary Payton fight in the locker room of Game 2 of the 94 playoffs was one of the things that led to a momentum shift in the series, okay? So it was a volatile 76ers locker room, but it was clear after that game, the momentum had shifted to the Portland Trail Blazers, okay? And before Game 3, Lucas ran over to the 76ers sidelines and shook Dawkins' hand, saying, hey, no hard feelings, which is one of the mind games that Maurice Lucas was playing. Because after Maurice Lucas did that, shook Daryl Dawkins' hand, let's just say the Portland Trail Blazers pretty much had him. Not only did they had Daryl Dawkins, they also had the Philadelphia 76ers team as a whole. Because the Blazers went on to win 4 straight to wrap up the 77 title. Okay. And not only did they win 4 straight, when they went back to Philadelphia for Game 5, which the Blazers won, the 76ers were booing. The 76er fans were booing their team as they were heading into halftime. Okay. And then, of course, the incredible Game 6 where Dr. J scored 40, including he had a poster dunk over Walton. He had a poster dunk over Bobby Gross. The first one over Walton. You remember he was coming down on the fast break and then he just rose up and dunked it in Walton's face. And the crowd was saying travel. He also had another one on Bobby Gross. He was on the fast break again. Julius went up and wham in his face. And I remember Magic Johnson talking about this. The NBA did the greatest dunks in NBA history. The greatest in your face dunks, the greatest breakaway dunks, the greatest in-game dunks, whatnot. So Magic Johnson recalls watching Julius Erving. he said, you got to remember something now. Bill Walton actually had feet in those days, so he could jump. And yet, here comes Dr. J. And Dr. J kept going and going and going. And wham! In his face. Everybody knows Magic is charismatic. Okay, so yeah, but yeah, while the fight wasn't a game changer, didn't change the outcome of game 2. It pretty much changed the outcome of the series. Okay, all right, that's it. That's all for Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I am Sean Farrell. Peace. God bless.